Kia ora, this is my brother Rauri.
Kia ora, this is my sister Whakarangatai. We whakapapa to the Hikarangi i Repu, Ngā Tikau o Torongari Te Apu, which plays a role in the
health of the Wairua, Waiora River and into the Kaipara Moana.
The Kaipara Harbour is one of the largest harbours in the southern hemisphere.
Sadly, the mauri of the Wairua, Waiora River and Kaipara Moana is being degraded by sediment.
Waima Waitai Waiora is a partnership project
guided by Mātauranga Māori and Western science.
The partnership includes tangata whenua communities and organisations, NGOs and government agents with a common vision for a healthier catchment and harbour.
We're a 205 hectare dairy support farm right at the very top of the Kaipara catchment. This water from this spring here will make its way out into the Tasman Sea.
This is a classic area here. Someone did this 40 years ago, fenced this area off. It would have had run cattle through it. So this is what can happen, and I discovered this when I arrived here. It sort of encouraged me to continue the work. Just fencing the waterways was a major start. I mean, just the stock loss was pretty much an immediate effect.
That led into protecting some of the more sensitive areas of the farm. That was good for the environment, but also made managing the farm easier.
We were approached to pilot some plans to have some real effect with retention bun sediment heading into the Kaipara. The bun was done 5 years ago. It's virtually a dry dam with a plug hole in the bottom. In heavy rainfall events, it will capture the runoff and then let it flow quietly out. And obviously sediment dropping, nutrients being captured rather than flowing downstream. Seems to work really well. Engaged with Akarama Marae, who came and did the planting. And I think there's about 3,000 plants in that bund and the area above it that's fed from the spring. So that's going to be pretty cool watching that develop.
Having the pilot here, being able to put that out across at a catchment scale is going to be massively beneficial long term for slowing the water, holding the nutrients where they need to be. I guess it's been quite unique, all the stakeholders have been involved in this. It's been a cross-sector sort of approach. We've had great working relationships with this retention bund and other projects we've done over the years. So yeah, I guess just start that conversation, like pick up the phone and give them a ring.
In the days of old, it was a big waterway. When it flooded, the floods would stay up for days, if not weeks. It was good for the eels and all the life that was in the water. We depended on the fresh waterways to sustain our existence, particularly in and around the eels or the tuna. And so there was a lot of loss of production farmer-wise, but they drained that and realigned the rivers, and it's all about pumping the water off farmers' flooded lands. When a waterway was realigned, the big curves and the big loops in between would get cut out. They left areas of the river not connected with each other, and often the natural water course was left dry. Our social structures were integral. When we were young fellas, we'd go swimming down at the creek here. So it was a place that everybody went. It was a place where people would go and meet up with the cousins and the aunties, have picnics, and so without that stopped happening. There's 7 pump stations. The type of flood pump that they're using, they're cutting up about 1.5 tons a tuna every flood, multiplied by 7 pump stations, that's about 10 tonne a tuna. So our eels are getting a haere. We've been working with different groupings, including Fonterra, with DOC and with the councils in terms of riparian fencing, riparian planting to try and improve the quality of the water. It's an important relationship in terms of working with all those groups I've mentioned, including the farmers. We want that waterway returned. We want the use of it for our children and our grandchildren to return. Because the well-being of our waterways is really reflective of the well-being of our people.
Together we can make the changes necessary to restore the mauri of our awa and ensure a healthier future for the next generation.